It's open house on Thursday. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi. As always, I have the ladies with me. Wait, get in the building. How you doing? Good to see you.
Yes, so
Echo celebration. Debates.
Yes, we've had the debate, we've had the fashion show.
Yeah.
So on Monday is the symposium.
Yes.
And then the music concerts.
Any big guests on Monday?
I don't know the
They're
guests.
all
Big
I'm
guests.
not in charge of the artist
list.
list.
Okay.
So I don't know. I will be sending you texts who the guests are.
Yeah.
But we're having it at Shrine for 1 week, Freedom Park as well 1 week. I think Bature breweries for 1 week. So anyone that I have, I don't want to give you access for Freedom Park because if I give you now, you will not come. You just waste the access cards. You might go because you and your husband.
Which day is Freedom Park?
It's Monday to Sunday.
No, I thought we're doing this at Shrine.
It's Shrine.
Yeah,
it's simultaneous.
Oh, no, really? You picked the one that you want to.
Even Bature breweries too is.
Oh,
the
nice.
same,
You know, my brother and his family, they're coming for celebration.
Wow,
they're
nice.
arriving on Friday. They're all coming.
I'll give you for him because I don't
I'll
give you the.
He's coming with the whole crew.
And maybe Miriam.
Yeah.
The rest of you.
You know me, I would love to come, but you know.
I was shocked.
Anyway, let me come to Diva. How you doing?
I had a swell time at the Celebration Schools debate, the ones that concern us, that I went for on Tuesday. And it was surprising to see that the King's College have redeemed themselves. Yes, they redeemed themselves.
I was shocked.
And Vivian Fowler, but the boy was a very good, he's a very intelligent boy. A spontaneous question, he knows how to argue. And the results just reflected my own score list, and I love that. And we're looking forward to the symposium on Monday. Mike forgot. She thought you were asking for the guests for the concert. The guests for the symposium.
Yeah, that's what I was asking for.
Yeah,
Neka Hall.
Yeah. So
I'll definitely after your view, definitely have to be there.
Yeah,
well,
always
absolutely.
there.
It's gonna be there.
We invited the Minister for Culture, but they said she can't make it. She's sending the special advisor.
Okay.
So, but not to talk, just
as a guest, yeah.
And we have invited.
What's the theme for this year? There's always a theme.
I got the T-shirt.
My brain.
Okay, 60 something now. Leave her alone. Let's not put her on the spot. But I got the shirt. The shirt is gorgeous. Thank you. Lovely, lovely. Hi, dear Mariam. You look really nice. Going somewhere today?
Thank you. No, I've just going to pick up the gifts from YK. This is another YK.
Oh, this is YK. Oh, nice. This is lovely.
But then I was like, oh, why don't I try it again?
Very nice. I love it.
Thank you. This shirt looks familiar.
Yeah, I call it my mommy geode blouse though.
it's not
It's no, you zip it down, have sexy cleavage.
YK.
Come on.
YK, come on. Hey, leave it. Mario, you answer this woman. Hey, this is national television. Hey, good. All right.
Good to say, over the Independence Day holiday, my family, my husband and I and the children, we did something that I found really interesting, and I think that everyone should do it. So we did like a mold of our hands together, put it together, and it's going to take pride of place in my living room. It just, for me, it was like, we do pictures.
Family bonding thingy.
Yes. First, it was the experience was good family bonding experience, but also to see that and just see all our hands, it just represents a lot of
you
things.
think of when in 20 years, you so appreciate it, like the kids, like the little hands and all that. I think we should.
Try what? In Lagos. I thought they were
Yes,
in Abuja.
no, they're in Lagos, but they are also in Abuja now.
So the family hands, it's a mold.
It's a mold. You put your hands together, and then they make a mold of your own hands, so life size.
I saw one with the father, mother, and 2 kids. It was so perfect, compact for you guys. But I don't know how 4 kids. I don't know how we're going to do it.
They have different designs. There's one that they put all their hands together this way.
Cool.
It's just different.
Nice, okay. I think we should. We should do it.
Maybe when my grandkids come. Meanwhile, I've now got this who know, no go, no, leveraging on the global rise of our creative economy.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. So it's good for our minister to be there, to be nice.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's start with the papers. The Nation, CJN, public opinion does not determine court decisions. CSU deposition authenticates Tinubu's certificate. Snakes take over Osun courtrooms. How we cleared over 200,000 passport backlog by Interior Minister. Shaibu denied use of government house office. Crude theft, not only reason for low production, says agency. Investments in solid minerals will stimulate economy. And UAE team in Abuja to fine-tune talks on visa ban and others. Okay, which story are we starting with in
Okay, major headline. So yesterday, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ariwola, was taking, giving out the oath of office to new appointees of the appointed judges of the Federal High Court, and he reiterated that only the law and the Constitution should guide the business of the law, and that all this noise online should not concern justice. He said several vitriolic attacks are regularly heaped on the judiciary. It's however crystal clear that public opinion, no matter how serious or weighty it might be, cannot override or supersede the constitution of the country, which we apply in deciding each cases. And he swore in 23 new judges of the Federal High Court yesterday. I hope that, this is just confirming how the business of law is separate from, that of the public court.
I have Edo State gist. So the deputy governor, yesterday they said resumed office. So at the new office, he had been taken away from the regular office, and he's been taken to this office in the GRA area in Benin. And they said that when he got there, they had a whole group of prayer warriors that came to the office. They were praying and anointing the place. But, the paper said they spoke to someone who says that this is something that the deputy governor has always done anyway, where they do these prayers, and they call all the clerics together in Catholic clerics together in Edo State to come and do those prayers. So they said the deputy governor had assumed that because his apology had finally been accepted by the governor, he'll be allowed into his old office and into the government house. But when he got there, he was told, Mbano, go back to where we have put you. And also his media aides that used to work from the government house have been banned from there, and they are not sure as of the time of this report if they'll be allowed to be working from there anymore. So, and then finally, also we know that the issues that were surrounding this was his ambition to be governor. Well, the report here says that he says after his term, he will go on to dedicate his life to God.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Let me take this story from the acting chairman of FIRS, that's Sakios Adenike, visited the Minister of Solid Minerals yesterday, Mr. Dele Alake, where he said that about 18% taxable limit for the GDP, which is a far cry from the 78%, contributing to the declining oil and gas sector. He also said that the solid minerals is the next big thing. It's huge, and they're gathering data on the precise materials that we have, and that the FIRS boss also said that there's a huge potential to rescue the economy. The Minister of Solid Minerals himself also said that the vision and agenda of the administration are rooted in the avowed determination of the president to lift the country to loftier heights using this new sector. They were saying that it's our next oil, that we are here to ensure that they get it right, because it means that the future of Nigeria will be secured if they're able to get this mineral sector right. So right now they're gathering data to know exactly what we have, and then we'll take it from there. But it's about 18% that's taxable if this sector begins, and it begins to raise revenue for the country.
Yes, so a chief magistrate sitting in Yaba, Chief Magistrate Adeola Olatubosun, has ordered the Naira Marley and Sam Larry to be detained for the next 21 days. Some papers say 30 days, some papers say 21 days. But anyway, they are to allow the police to conclude their investigation. They have been detained, but they should be allowed access to their lawyers and their medical, so. And they're declared prime boy, suspect, wanted, because they've invited him and he's refused to go. So, and in some papers they said there's a $1 millionaire bounty on his head. Not in this paper,
They
but
gave his full description,
Yeah.
how tall he is,
pictures
his
and
complexion and everything, and his address and so.
Okay,
So I
the
want to
punch.
quickly- sorry.
That's the way in nation.
This, yes, in the nation, the snakes and the reptiles take over. So in Osun State, the NBA president for Osun has written to the governor asking him to do better to the judiciary. In that letter, he decried the state of the courts, he lamented the poor infrastructure, decay of courtrooms, and he said the judges and magistrates are the poorest paid in the southeast. He compared their salary.
Southeast, I mean Southwest.
Sorry, southwest, sorry. This southeast thing is just at the back of my head. You know, in the southwest, he compared them with states to states like Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo, and he's saying that some have not been given any cars for the past 10 years that they've been appointed. Some who have cars were given those cars over 12 years ago, saying that even the past administration didn't treat the judges or the judiciary better. And judiciary staff workers are the poorest paid. I think that, you know, this is a state of emergency and the governor should, you know,
And the snakes have taken over the
yes,
courtroom.
don't
The punch. Economic crisis. States borrow 46 billion naira from banks to pay salaries. Picture here. Judgments based on constitution, not public opinion, says CJN. Teacher's car crushes people to death in Lagos school. 5 Katsina varsity students kidnapped. Police nabbed informant. Ministerial nominee faints. Journalist dies in National Assembly shuttle. Chicago varsity vindicates Tinubu presidency, insists article files documents today. FG to convert 10 million PMS vehicles to CNG. And Naira, among Africa's worst currencies, falls by 40%, says World Bank. Okay, which story?
I was going to take the 10-year-old pupil who was knocked down. Apparently, the teacher had come in the morning, parked his car, and gone inside. So about 1 p.m., the car started to roll. The child wasn't facing the car, so she didn't see the car coming, and the car just rolled and knocked her. She knocked her head to the ground.
There was no driver in the car. It was just rolled off.
No driver in the car. The teacher even went to the police to report, and they detained him. They said they are investigating.
Oh, really, really
Very,
sad.
very, very sad. They rushed her to the hospital. Those ones said they couldn't treat her. They rushed her to another hospital, and she was dead. Poor child.
We need to deal with this hospital that cannot treat people. It's a major topic we need to deal with. Let's talk about it.
It's really, really terrible. Because maybe if the first hospital had been able to do something,
Yes,
maybe
I've
she
saved
would
her
have
life.
survived. Very, very
Okay,
extremely sad story.
another story in Punch. Let's see how much time we have. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Miriam has a story. Go ahead.
So I have this star story. 5 Katsina varsity students kidnapped, but the police are saying that they have nabbed terrorist informants. So the police in Katsina on Wednesday have confirmed that 5 female students of the Federal University, Dutsima, I'm not sure I got that pronunciation right, have, so they've confirmed they're kidnapped. People who have been speaking to, reporters have said that they're all final year students that were arrested from their hostel. That were kidnapped from their hostel. But the police is also saying that they have arrested a suspected informant to terrorists, and they are right on the case of it, and hopefully, they'll be able to bring these girls back. But I want to use this opportunity really to talk about the number of kidnapping that has been happening in the north. Well, we know that there's so many things happening. It's widespread across Nigeria, but there's just this with kidnapping recently in the north.
Attack on educational...
On students especially, and the youth, to be fair. A lot of people always say, oh, the north is always quiet, they're not speaking up. But the north also feels that when something happens in any other part of Nigeria, there's a lot of attention on media, government, people coming out. I've seen northern youths carrying placards, Ariwa, Mufarka, secure the north, end insecurity in the north. their numbers are not as large as if it were to happen in Lagos or Abuja, yes, but they are speaking out and they're asking that the government should please look into this and resolve this once and for all. These are children, they go to school hoping to get an education, and we know the story and the history of education in the North, and this is a huge deterrent, really, going forward. So I hope that the presidency is looking into this issue right now, and let's see how we can quickly resolve it. The North is asking for our help.
I'd like to just rest it like that, drop my story in the point.
Okay. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Tragedy of Senate. Epidemic looms in Delta community as bodies litter scene of fuel tanker fire. Chicago Varsity presidency says Tinubu's certificate not fake amid mixed reactions. Court remands Naira Marley over Mohbad's death. Trouble looms in health sector. 31,000 primary healthcare centers collapse. Gunmen storm Federal Varsity, Castina, abduct 5 female students. And CGN tasks 23 new judges on impartiality. Okay, which story?
So let me take the primary healthcare trouble looms in health sector. So the House of Reps Committee on Health Services, the chairman, Dennis Idahosa, has said that unless the federal government and state governments move urgently, over 33,000 primary healthcare centers that we have in the country, or he generally mentioned the health sector may collapse. And he said that out of the 33,000 primary healthcare centers that we have, only 5% are functional, that the 5% amount to about 1,650, and we have about 31,000 primary healthcare centers now presently comatose, they are not working. And those are the first point of contact for any health services. So he also talked about personal experiences that he's had, his family members who have visited healthcare centers, but they as a body are doing, after the investigation found it like that, he was hosted by the management of the Sun Media Development Foundation, and he was led by the executive director, Victor Emerua. And I'm hoping that, there'll be a partnership with them to put out pictures of the state of each of the primary healthcare centers covered.
Okay. An epidemic is looming in Koko Community, West Local Government area of Delta State, as bodies float in water at the scene of the Sunday, October 1st, fuel tanker explosion. Daily Sun was reporting that 2 bodies have been pulled out of the swamp, while another has been identified. One of the sympathizers who preferred anonymity said that some bodies were recovered from the swamp the previous day, while others were still yet to come up. They're really fearing that this might lead to a serious epidemic in the society, in the community. The House of Reps yesterday observed the minute of silence in honor of the victims of the tanker explosion and called the FEMA to fix the dilapidated portion of the road, and also NEMA and others to, and the disaster, Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management and Social Development to also provide relief materials to the entire community. Really, really sad. Something must be done to really, really remove all the dead bodies. I guess you have to wait for them to also come up before you can evacuate.
They don't have to wait for them.
You can actually be.
Yes.
Okay.
The fire has ended, and they should have already been, clearing that scene, because we don't want another pandemic right after this has happened.
Okay, another story in Sun. Let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. State split over federal government's 35,000 wage award to federal workers. Court-martial declares Major General guilty of $1.47 million theft. World Bank paints gloomy picture of growth in Nigeria. CGN to judges, we must rise above temptations. Terrorists abduct 5 varsity students in Katsina. One suspected arrested. President Atiku disagree over certificate Tinubu submitted to INEC. Senate screens, confirms 3 additional ministers for Tinubu as Lawal slumps. And FG issues 2-week deadline for passport processing, clears over 204,000 backlog. Okay, which story?
So a court-martial sitting in, so a special court-martial set up by the Nigerian Army has found the former group managing director and executive vice chairman of the Nigerian Army Properties Limited, Major General Umar Mohammed, guilty of 14 out of 18 count charges that he was brought before him. And all of these charges border around stealing, other sundry offenses, and forgery, conspiracy, theft, unauthorized diversion of army property, among others. And he was, found guilty of collecting over $1 million paid by shipping companies for the use of Nigerian Army jetty located in Marina Victoria Island. He was also found guilty of $430,800 being monies paid into the Nigerian Army domiciliary account at the Unity Bank Abuja for the use of Nigerian Army jetty. He was also found guilty of withdrawing and confiscating the sum of 74 million naira out of 75 million naira paid for a property belonging to the Nigerian Army. But he was absolved of...
out of 75, 74.
The total amount is about $1.47 million that he was found guilty of. But, he was absolved of allegations that he sold the army property worth 200 million naira in Lagos, and he stole another one of about 750 million
Only
naira.
He, one person.
Only him, the million I'm calling. But the good side of it is that, this special court martial usually have the same jurisdiction as a high court. So we are sure that this is a proper prosecution. And hopefully we'll get
So I was going to take the 22 that died in the boat, drowned in... Are you going to take the story?
No, that's fine. Take it.
You can take it.
Take it, YK.
You will take it.
No, take it.
You will say everything. Yeah, we just gloss over it. So, anyway, 22 people died. They drowned from the Kasabu village in Agwara local government. They were taking the boat from point A to point B, and there was heavy downpour, and the boat capsized. 22 of them drowned. They found 6 bodies. Most of them were not wearing life jackets.
Again, this is this year.
This is
the second time.
It's like...
And then, they tried the rescue team. They said that they were not able to rescue more because it's been raining and they had their divers in the water for quite a long time. So hopefully with the rain
sad.
Let me take the major headlines. So states are split yesterday over the agreement of the federal government to pay 35,000 naira to workers to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal. Some states, like I think here in Delta State, and also even in Kwara State, said they've already started paying about 10,000 naira to their workers in addition, but they were quite silent on their readiness to upscale that to 35,000. Kebbi State to say they're going to have a meeting with their own cabinet to determine what they will be willing to pay at this time. In Enugu, the government agreed to replicate the federal government's wage award of 35,000 to its own workers. So Enugu was ready and said they were very prompt in the distribution of palliatives to their people, and this wage award won't be any different according to the government, Uguake from Enugu State, which is a good thing. So he's the Commissioner for Labor and Employment, Chika Uguake. He was saying that they would definitely conform to the federal government's 35,000 naira. So we'll see. I guess all the various states have different perspective for now. Let's see if we can take any more stories. Okay, let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. How Nigeria or other African countries can avert a lost decade, says World Bank. Reps probe 22 billion naira Lagos-Shango Abeokuta Road construction contract. Bandits abduct 5 federal university students in Katsina. 2 killed, many injured. Residents flee in the renewed Ifon-Ilubu communal clash. Visa ban UAE officials arrived to continue meeting with Nigeria today. Scare as Kaduna ministerial nominee slumps during screening. Senate confirms him and 2 others. NRC suspends workers who collected cash from passengers on board Lagos-Ibadan train. And applicants will now get passports in 2 weeks. Okay, which story?
I think the applicants will now get passports in 2 weeks. So the Minister for Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has made it, so he said that the backlog that we've had, over the past few years, they've been able to clear it. He said that he says, I'm trying to get the numbers here. He says they've cleared 204,322 passport application backlog as of October 1st this year. And then he had urged that Nigerians should collect their passport also without making any additional payments. 91,281 passports have been collected out of the 204,322 backlog. He also said that going forward, it would, Nigeria would not have to wait more than 2 weeks to receive their passports. Also that, like when you need to get a passport, renew your passport, you can just send your picture even online. You don't have to get there physically, except for the biometrics where you have to go there because that is a sensitive security issue. You have to go to the offices to do that. But when you're applying for it, you can just send
You don't need your biometrics for renewal.
So that's where you can send your picture and then you get to do your renewal. So he's also threatened the vendors, the service providers, going forward. They don't want to see that people are waiting endlessly to receive their passports. And this is
More than
good
impressed.
news.
Yeah, you had said 2 weeks.
Actually, listen to him. Listen to him, and I really like the guy. I have to say, I really like the guy. He's young, he's vibrant, and I really hope
He's ready to do the
he's
work.
not. He even spoke about how he was at the airport and he saw how they were treating people with passports on arrival, how they were rude to them, and he came down hard on them. So I really liked that.
I'm happy that you've merged his office with the NIMC's office.
Yes,
Hopefully, we'll start getting our cards now because what we have is a temporary print of your numbers and everything. And
I even have my card. I got my card, but it's okay.
I
Go
wanted to
ahead.
take the NRC suspending workers. The NRC, Nigerian Railway Corporation, has suspended some of its workers who appeared in a viral video. They were collecting money from passengers without tickets. So they've suspended them for misconduct, and they have apologized to everybody. They are taking action, and it's
It's
not.
a
But they
serious
said they are going to investigate.
high-level corruption.
Yes, we agree.
But I was on a train recently, and one of the managers was also there, and he was talking with glory. He was so proud of the work they've done so far, how that they're going to be opening new stations very soon. So I know there's a lot of work being put in there. So the fact that I'm happy that they're suspending them, but actually there should be more stringent measures to take to deter this. However, I also understand that they don't want to get rid of these people because I saw them bringing them in trucks, the workers, taking them in the morning and taking them back home. So there's a lot of investment in these people. So maybe they want to retrain them.
They are not going to suspend them. Once they investigate and they find them guilty, they'll probably sack them.
Okay.
But they have to suspend them first while they are investigating. So because me too, I was saying suspension, okay. But then when I read it properly, I saw that.
Okay, just while investigation. Because when I went there, I saw the buses brought the trains. I mean, they have trucks that bring them to work in the morning and take them back home. So they're really making sure the workers are well taken care of. So they shouldn't be doing this kind of fraudulent thing. But let me go on a break now. It's Thursday, and we return. First, we bring our friends from First FBN Quest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So as the world becomes more interconnected, individuals and families often find themselves considering the possibility of moving to a different country for various reasons. It could be for greener pastures, retirement, or a desire for a better future for your children. The decision to either sell off or retain assets is at the front burner when people consider relocating. Join us now to help us on how to do this in the better way is the head private trust, Mr. Rotimi Obende. He's the private trust for FBN Quest Trustees. Good to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
So tell us exactly, about an estate. When you want to travel abroad, how do you even determine what an estate is before you even begin to move away? Do you even have an estate as a regular person?
Yeah, so as a regular person, you already have an estate. And so the question now is, what is this estate?
Even if you have no shishi.
So what is the estate? The estate might even include the fact that you have shishi as against not having any shishi. So essentially, it is what you own, minus, just putting it layman language, everything you then owe other people. So what you own, what belongs to you, which we call assets, all your assets. They can be liquid assets or illiquid assets. So liquid assets, your cash, your investment, either in stocks or shares, or the illiquid asset, what we call real estate. So the sum total of all of this is what we call an estate. minus all other liabilities. There are softer assets also, where you have your cryptocurrency or your e-wallets, for example. So all of these make up your estates. So you see that you have an estate.
Yeah. So since we're specifically talking about the jackpot syndrome and everybody leaving, we see this quite a lot. People are traveling and they're selling off everything that they have. So would you say it's wise to do that when you're leaving, or is there a way to do it differently?
Okay, so at FBN Quest Trustees, we've done a bit of research and told ourselves that there are two sets. The one we call the japa, and in FBN Quest Trustees, we say japa are those that are going and not coming back again. So those ones decide that they sell off all of their assets. They have reasons. Some might be for economic reasons. The other part is those that we term relocation. So they go, they leave their assets. Then the question is, can they find a better way to manage it? And we say yes. If you find an institution like FBN Quest Trustees, we can help you manage your assets back here in Nigeria. Now, I talked about those that japa. Some of them have very ridiculous assets that some have in Banana Island or Lekki. Very good assets that ordinarily they should not sell. Because when you then travel abroad, your first 3 months are a struggle. You are then asking yourself, will I get a job quickly or easily? You then look at 6 months, 9 months. But if you have an institution manage those assets for you, you then earn income. That then begins to help you to settle down. When you have then settled down, you can then decide what to do in the long term. So for us, don't just sell off because you are not too sure who will manage them. Again, we've had bad family experiences or bad experiences from friends. But with an institution that can be sorted for you, and you then earn income on a monthly, annual, or quarter basis.
So can someone, if I jackpot now, can I continue to get assets in Nigeria?
Yes, clearly you can continue to invest in Nigeria and bring in those dollars or pounds that you earn there, bring them back in Nigeria. But what is important is
They
that...
want to jackpot. I am not jackpotting.
Why would you say we want to jackpot?
I know I want to jackpot. Okay.
Nothing in my life has ever suggested that.
Me. Okay.
You have forgotten you want to go to Canada.
It's just to visit. You think I me? I thought that what I have in Nigeria. I think I visit because
you then look at the assets that they own. Now, what is important when you look and speak to people, even when you follow social media, is the fact that they find it hard to trust people. We've seen situations where somebody has worked for 20 years abroad, has been sending money consistently, thinking that family members have bought mansions for them. And they just suddenly realize that they didn't own a plot of land after sending money consistently for 20 years. So, but that cannot happen with an institution, because an institution like FBN Quest, for example, Trustees, is regulated by the Security and Exchange Commission. You cannot report family members. You report them to family. They take them for family meetings, nothing done. They tell you to understand. But if you deal with an institution, you can easily report us to SEC if you think that we've infringed on your rights, which I know is not going to be possible.
Mr. Rotim, you see that's my style just talk about. In my family, the repeated way it happens is like they don't want to learn. So let me just talk about the one that concerns people who want to take care of family. If you have jackpot and you've given, can you put in your trust and your people that you left back home, instead of them waiting for brother in the abroad to send dollars, can they benefit from the trust that you have created? Yes,
so you can set up a trust for those in Nigeria. And the assets that you are putting are then used for their benefit. Yes. Many times, daddy is calling, mommy is calling, I have a medical issue, I want to go to the hospital. You are then running around looking for her money to take care of them. With a trust in place at FBN Quest Trustees, it's very easy. We can decide to take an HMO for your parents or your siblings, brothers and sisters. But what is important is that a structure has been put in place, and that structure is managed by a reputable institution.
Okay, there's a question that I wanted to ask when you spoke a bit earlier. So for somebody living abroad now, buys property for maybe Nima in Nigeria, and now she has a property, but she can't manage the property. So can she contact you to help her verify first the property and maybe just manage everything so she can hand the papers over to you where you're the one making sure the property is secure.
So set up a trust. When you do that, fund the trust, we interface with her, we buy the property in the name of the trust, we manage the property. When you then need monies paid to you, rental income, when it comes into the trust, we then do that. So
you don't buy first, I have to open first, and then,
So the reason why we advise that you open first, there's the temptation that you want to buy it in your name. If you buy it in your name, you then won't need to pay transfer charges, 3 to 7% to then put it in the trust. So why do that? You layer off that by ensuring that you open a trust account, fund the trust account, the trust acquires the property. You are still the owner, technically speaking, but you then have an institution managing it for you, and you are earning rental income.
So I have a client who has a farm somewhere in Ibadan, who wants it managed, but for certain paperwork. Can such a person, he already has the farm, do the 3% transfer issue and hand the farm to you? Can FBN Quest handle the farm?
Oh yes, we can. Yes, we handle not just farm, all other kind of businesses and all other forms of investments. We handle that. But so as against properties that I was talking about with the farm, you're not paying 3 to 7% because what you own is maybe a company, and what you then do is just transfer the shareholdings in that company to the trust. And as trustees, we start to manage. So you are then entrusting us with management and control, and you are basically sitting down, getting reports and getting monies when it's required.
Okay, so I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not a big business. I'm a sole proprietor. I have my fashion design business. I'm sewing clothes, but I have to travel. Is that enough to be an estate that can be put in trust for FBN Quest trustees?
So this is your small business that you talk about. If you look at the amount of clothes that go out of the country on a weekly basis, it will shock you. As a matter of fact, I was speaking to somebody very close to me yesterday that shipped out 53 kg worth of already sewn materials. That's a business. So yes, what you call small to you might not be small to other people. It's having a proper structure, having the mindset that there are some people that operate businesses, they are not in Nigeria, but they operate their fashion business. So what they do is they've employed 2 or 3 tailors, but you then need somebody to monitor that the tailors are doing what they should be doing.
So you will do that?
Oh, yeah.
You see,
so what is key? I do
ahead.
apologize. What is key? Management and control. That structure has to be right before we can then start.
I'm so pained because there's a lady that I used to buy something for me. I wouldn't mention her brand name here. I've been using her for years. She has really unique stuff. And then she relocated. I mean, anytime my brothers come around, I take them there. I come and buy stuff for souvenirs. And I was so pained. About 2 years ago, she had relocated. But if she had known about this, she would have probably come to you and the business, because she had actually a thriving business in Nigeria. But she then moved to Canada, and then she said, well, now that I don't do it anymore. And I'm thinking, what? Now she's trying to go back online to restart. But it's difficult because we've lost most of us. So it's good to know that those of you that are relocating, you can actually have this option.
If I decide to Jackma, I can leave you in charge of Shrine.
Celebration. And
We've talked about this a lot.
Yes,
so before you Jackpa, let's have that contract signed.
Why can you want to Jackpa at 62? Oh, you have grandchildren abroad that you can Jackpa to
You
go
can still have YK here, manage it for her while she's here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. While you are here in
you can still
Nigeria,
be.
Even after you cross over to the great beyond.
Okay. So what like
I'm not crossing anywhere now.
In the 50 years, then you cross over to the great
I
beyond.
am not saved for 50 years.
So of course, FBN Quest trustees won't be doing this for free.
Yeah.
It will be for.
Yes,
What is the charge? What are the percentages? How does that work?
So in terms of fees, like if you appoint a partner to manage it for you, they will earn an income. And that income is dependent for us on the nature of business and assignments that you're giving to us. We do not have a one fee across board. So each business, so you talked about a small business, you won't charge that small business the same thing that we charge a 5-star or a 10-star business.
All right.
Again, you also need to understand that brands are important. Fela is a strong brand.
Yeah, internationally, globally recognized brand.
Correct.
You're going to pay real dollars.
Yeah,
Don't even collect naira for her, collect dollars for her.
They have all been drinking.
All right. Thank you very much. I mean, it's always a pleasure having you. But is there anything else we missed out?
I'll just say that before you take out that decision to Japa, you should speak to us at FBN Quest Trustee.
See you Jackpot people.
All right, that's all we can
I
take
don't know where they're going.
on this segment. Let's go. If you're going to come back to our hot topic of the day, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So the entire passport backlogs in the Nigeria Immigration Service has been cleared according to the directive from the Minister of Interior, Honorable Olubumi Tunji-Ojo. They gave us an update that by October 1st, all the total backlogs were cleared and that people should go pick up. And going forward, it shouldn't take you more than 2 weeks to get your passport form application. Now, what are your general thoughts on this? I mean, we mentioned it during the newspaper review. Others have confirmed, I saw on social media, many people confirmed that they've picked up and they received theirs. Others are saying, no, me, I've not received my own. No. If you're one of those, no, I've not, I went there and I picked up, they say it's not available. Please call us on the numbers on the screen. Let us see, let's hear your own view, what's going on. You can call us on 081 7641 679 090 241 63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So let's start with the work this man has done in about 6 or so weeks, about less than 2 months. He has been able to start working almost. In fact, he started working almost immediately when he became minister. What are your thoughts on the work he's done so far, and the fact that he's saying categorically that over 204,000 have been cleared, and he's saying that with his full chest?
Yes, so I would just say that, he's told us, he's given us the numbers, but as you know, we'll have to hear from those who have collected and who have been asked to come and collect to know for sure. That's where we'll hear from Nigerians as well, because sometimes, I'm not saying this is the case, I'm saying that sometimes, government may have a different view of something than what exactly is happening in real life. So, it's the backlog. It's understandable. It's over 200,000. They said 91,000 have been collected so far. So I can imagine even the collection process will take a while because there's so many passports right now that need to be collected. But if this is, as he says it is, I think this is fantastic. And I'm also excited that he says going forward, you will not have to wait more than 2 weeks to get your passport. But I really would like to hear from Nigerians in this short period, this month of October, right? That would hear how many of them have collected so far. And those who are collecting, are they calling you to collect, or are we just going to these offices and standing on long queues and just spending the whole day there? And what's the process of collection? Is it better now? Is it more seamless? Or are we just standing around waiting to pick up?
Okay, so I listened to the minister yesterday, but why I believe that this is true, because what I heard this morning is quite different, is that it was done in phases. He just didn't say backlog cleared. We took it as a hot topic here when he said it initially, and we're wondering how is this going to happen with the same people who caused the backlog right there in the office. But when the first 80-something thousand was cleared, they issued a press release, and that was, followed online, where people were confirming, I just picked up. Those who were already hanging around were picking up. And as at yesterday evening, when he had his interview as well, the trends online is that, people were confirming that they were picking up their passports. So I also believe that the process of, issuing or acquiring your passport is not a big deal. It's just human factor thing of, create a clock so people will come and pay to clear the clock, to jump it, and all of those things. And he affirmed it. He said, that the methods that the staff were using to delay and cause people to pay was checked. Every other method was done. Your online application now and everything with your passport is enough. All you need to come into the office for is your biometrics.
Let me take Oluro to me. He's calling from London. Good morning, Oluro to me. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's a bit low, but go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I really appreciate that you brought this topic today. You know, this is disheartening because some of you are in diaspora. We pay a lot of money, but honestly, we got not. Every time you go there, it's about money. But I think with this net in place, these are the things they can do for us because even applying for a passport online is not easy. But when you go there, they are trying to even give us like a very tough time. Then therefore we have to travel all the way from Manchester, Birmingham to London like 4 or 5 times without talking. And this is really very, very uncomfortable for this because please help us with all these things. Definitely, I think better we have to come up there.
Thank you. I didn't hear most of what he said. Go ahead, YK. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, for me, I think that what I like about him is that he's making an effort. If he has succeeded, because I was listening to the radio today and a lot of people were sending in texts that one person said, I applied since June, I haven't got my passport. Another person said, I applied since I haven't got my passport. So there are some people who have not got their passports, but he's trying, which I think is a far cry from whoever was there before, who did not even look at that side. You know, but this one, he's making an effort. So I think we should encourage him. And hopefully, Nigerian passport will become something that you just walk in, collect, and you walk out.
Let me take this call from Olariwaju, because I really like to hear from Nigerians who are claiming they have not collected theirs. Olariwaju, thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello, good morning, ladies.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I think I will say the system here in UK is very, very bad.
Hard.
You know, my Nigerian passport expired, and I was thinking, you know what, maybe I might come to Nigeria. I'm just, you know, I don't know, or yet, and I don't want to get a visa which is costing me about £400 or something like that. Okay, I say, okay, let me go online and renew the passport. Okay, I go online. It took me long to get the system. Then I apply for it. What they do, they allow you to pay for the money first, which is about $142. When you pay the money, then is where you're going to book your appointment. And I don't know why they do it like that. When you pay money, you should be getting appointments straight away. Not that when you pay, then you book an appointment. The appointment they give to me now is January, which is too far.
He's talking about the diaspora experience.
Morijola says, hello, Morayo. Please help us address London House. We are told to pay £500 for the next day passport and normal procure. Capture date is January, collection might be like February. Please, they should.
Obviously, there's a problem with the UK.
Yeah. But he mentioned about, you know, those in diaspora. He talked about it yesterday's interview. He says that if usually in those countries you have one passport office for the Nigerians in diaspora. So as big as Canada is, for instance, it's only one. So you have to then fly to that point. You pay, you know, to get your dates. There's still a crowd issue. So what they are working on is having more passport offices in other states, in states across in any country. And he talked about how he referred to how their employment is over there, for how Nigerians work over there, and all of those issues. He also talked about this UK experience.
I think we're getting more calls from the UK. I have another call from Temita. So the passports in Nigeria, based on him now, so the 204,000 are the passport from Nigeria. It's looking like we're having more issues with the UK. So I have a call from Temita calling from the UK. Good morning, Temita. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I've gotten my passport.
From the UK?
Just almost the same time you guys were having, yes, I'm coming from Sheffield, UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Temita, let me ask you a question. Wait, Mr. Temita, hello, well, 1 second. Were you called that your passport was ready, or did you go to the office to find out if it was ready? Hello?
No, I didn't call. I didn't call.
You didn't call.
I did not make any call. And I
So
did not
how do
pay
you know
any
it's
money.
ready?
So it's good. Let him tell us.
Yeah, they just sent it to me.
It was sent to him.
I told him, I just saw the royal mail. Just look at
So
it.
they sent it via mail. Okay.
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 So I was going to
That's
say
an improvement.
it's a different thing when they say it's ready. Pick up is another matter.
Yeah, but in
Because,
Nigeria, I want to know also.
So in Nigeria, yes.
Yes, we'd like to hear from Nigerians because this backlog we're talking about are those here in Nigeria that have applied. And
and
so
if
we
your
would like
address
to
is your
find
He's in the UK. He got his via mail.
There they have
Okay,
your address
yeah.
is your address. You don't get what I mean.
I get it.
Because
Do you think
yeah,
you may have applied here and then
No,
traveled?
no. I'm just saying that, we're having lots of calls from the UK.
Yeah.
So it seems that there's a problem with UK. So he now got his passport from the UK. I want to know exactly what happened. But we have the Nigerian ones also. That one. So we'd like to hear from Nigerians in Nigeria. Have you received? If you have, how did you receive it? Did they call you? Did they mail it to you? Or did you pick up?
usually we pick up. Usually from experience here. You apply, you go for your capture,
Because
you
your
go
address
back
is not legit.
to pick up. But
Is it only address?
no, it's not only
They can
illegitimate
intercept
address.
it.
Even for bank account opening, something happened recently in Yolu's house where someone opens his account and goes to the bank every time with her own address. And then something like a crime affected that address. And the police officer that came was just checking the house and kept saying, is this
This is the address?
This is the address attached to the account.
Wow.
And then they found out that the house just comes and says, can I have your NEPA bill? I want to quickly use it for my bank account. And that was it. So your address, is it your address? Can they mail your passport to your address?
Okay, let me have Charles.
You won't have a proper
Charles from Ogun State. Good morning, Charles. You're live.
Yes, I applied in September.
In
And I
September.
collected it yesterday.
You applied in September
September.
and you
I
collected.
applied September last month.
Okay, sir. Did you go there to pick up or did they mail it to you?
No, I got a message.
A text message
Yes,
that it is ready.
yes.
And then you went to pick up.
Have you picked up?
And I went there.
And you picked up yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
Okay.
When you went there, what was it like? Are there a lot of people waiting to pick up, or was it easy to just say, I got a text message and I'm here to pick up? How was it?
Well, there are a lot of people. They were calling names, actually.
Okay.
They were just calling names. And maybe,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. So they call it. So there was a crowd of people there.
Obviously.
So
there
there's
are
a list
people
of
there that
those
they keep on calling names.
Okay.
So there are lists of
When you
those.
call your name, you are the one you go with the white paper. They get to you when you print, you do capture it.
Okay. Thank you very
So
much.
you submit that and collect the other one. Thank you.
I was going to ask in his experience what he would say. Is it better? Would he say it's better now? It's
I
more.
applied in September, so
For
September
Rahim
is the collection.
says, hello, your view ladies. I'm part of those 91,000 that have collected my renewed international passport
Okay.
from Alausa Ikeja. The words of the minister is not rhetorics at all.
Okay, good.
Okay. So at least I think many people are calling in. I would like to hear from somebody who believes the minister is not saying the truth, that he has not collected his own passport, that he applied maybe January, February, and he is yet to collect it. Please, that person should call us today.
Nigeria.
In Nigeria, if you are amongst those who feel you don't have your passport, call us so that we can use this platform to tell the minister that you are still there or they've not collected your own passport.
Okay, so Immaculate Boy says, I'm impressed with the Honorable Minister on his proactiveness. However, I did my recapture in January 2023. My daughter did hers August 2022, both at the High Commission in Accra. I was at the commission only on Monday, still no booklet.
Okay, so Accra is having issues. So those of you in Accra,
The question I wanted to ask there is it his responsibility or the other minister, the international minister, what's his name?
Foreign Affairs.
The Foreign
Affairs.
Affairs, for
No,
those
it's-
outside.
Well, it's interior. Interior is supposed to, that's his zone.
Interior is here.
Passport
That's
is under him.
Passport is under interior.
Passport is under him, and
But he has to work in conjunction
correctional
with
centers
the
also
Foreign
are
Affairs
under him.
Minister now.
This is there.
He has a huge portfolio as interior minister.
Okay, well, I would really like to stick this around for a few more seconds just to hear some more calls. I think I have a caller. Good morning. I thought I had a caller. Let's see a few more comments on social media and then we wrap up
Emperor
on this.
Lasbon says it's a good thing that the backlog has been cleared. The minister needs to find a way to make the process of getting and renew your passport easy. We don't need to visit the NIS office for biometrics. All can be done online if possible. Courier can pick and send it. I don't know how that will work for now, where we are tech-wise. So That's the tweet we have. But I know that...
Andrew in Streatham says the Nigerian passport, sorry, Nima.
Go on, ma.
The Nigerian passport office in the UK needs total overhaul. The staff in the UK office are very incompetent and just too expensive.
Okay, let me take Shay from Abuja, then we wrap up on this. Good morning, Shay. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, my sister.
Morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Go ahead.
Morning. Actually, I listened to the minister yesterday. In fact, he spoke well. I was really impressed. But the attitude of people working in that office, most of them do not have good attitude. It's what they want to get from you. They will frustrate you so that you give them something. And you don't have much time. You know Nigeria can be frustrated. And once you are frustrated, you don't have option. You don't have option. You have to drop something. And which is not good. It's not good. It's destroying our image. Are you getting me? You know, our leaders are tried. I will not lie to you. They can't see everything.
Yeah.
But you know, civil servants, they will frustrate you. So they need to checkmate all those things too.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I must leave an office where we can do underground cover reporting to him. It's important.
Yeah.
Because this achievement can go under
be sabotaged
immediately. As soon as he turns his attention to the other parastatals under his ministry, the prisons are there. He talked about the...
You know, he's really huge. But he's up to the task.
Yes, yes.
The man is up to the task.
Yes.
He said he was coming to the airport. Maybe they didn't know who he was and they were rude.
They don't know his face yet.
They don't know his face.
You myself, it took me a while to get his face.
You should not even let them be seeing him too much.
Yeah.
He will just be catching them.
But I wanted to ask if we can get more callers, if they can tell us if they were made to pay.
To collect.
Yeah, to collect. Even if they were called, were they made to collect pay so that they could collect faster?
Well, we should talk to ourselves to be patient. So a caller has said that the list was being read out and that he waited. They were calling out people whose passports were ready. They will call you, you collect your own and go, considering when he applied and when he picked up. And I also know for a fact that outside Lagos, it's not as crazy as this.
No, it's not.
We renewed the passport recently for a family member. We went all the way to Lokoja to do it.
I take Akin from Isolo, maybe our last caller. Good morning, Akin. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, sir.
Samurai, good morning.
Morning.
My first time call.
Welcome to the show.
I've been trying to call you several times, but my call didn't get through.
Oh, I'm glad it came to today.
Yeah. Dorayo, please, you know, this problem we are talking about, what I want us to do is that make sure all these civil servants, they are the problem of this country.
All the who?
Civil servants.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Is the civil servant the problem? I'm close to them very well. They are the problem. Try to help us to talk to them always. The leader will have given the directive, but they will change it for their own way. They will change it. They will just frustrate you in everything in life. I'm telling you. And they are the ones that will be claiming for the increase of the salary. I'm telling you, they are not doing their work. Nigeria is just feeding them for nothing.
All right, thank you very much for your view, Mr. Akin. You see, as much as I understand his perspective, which I already shared in some way, but I also thank God for the opportunity that I've worked with civil servants, and many of them are very professional. They actually know the jobs, but the truth is that human beings will always take advantage of loopholes or lacunas in any system, because everybody has that maybe insatiable need for more. So you're constantly finding that, okay, how can I do? How can I find a way where you pay me, don't give me 10,000, I'll fast track for you? Because Nigerians also don't have patience. So there's always the giver, there's also the taker. So you go to the passport office, it's civil service, we say, okay, go and line up, I will call your name. And auntie, don't worry, take 5K, please put my name. Quickly call my name. And so you are also, we are all complicit. Yes, we are also complicit, just like the person you are blaming. All of us are part of it.
Dr. Max,
just the way we call.
Dr. Max here says on Twitter X says, I applied for mine in August, yet to get it from Lagos, Nigeria. Lawal Habib, August. I have not been able to get mine. No. Did they mail you or send texts.
Ogunmola Emmanuel says the passport offices in the diaspora are very corrupt and extortion is boldly practiced. You will try to book online and the available date is 6 months away and at a back fee, but that has no receipt. A next day date will magically appear.
I have a caller from, I think, Abuja. Thanks for calling.
My name is Mr. John.
Mr. John, you're live. Go ahead, please.
In fact, you people are doing a great job. I'm clapping for you guys. Just clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. You people are wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Yeah. So, on point now. So, I had one of the callers call that they are calling names. It is supposed to be calling names. What they are supposed to be doing is that when your passport is ready, you come there, you fill the form. As you fill the form, then you now wait. You now go and bring it for you. Not that they'll be calling us that you are in a primary school, you are in something. When you are, the passport is ready, go there. Oh, my passport, I'm asked to come and collect my passport. You now give you a form, you fill it. They go inside and bring it and give it to you. Not to be calling names. They are more than that in this country. God bless Nigeria and God bless our president.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. You see, in filling form, you make an error, or they don't get your name properly, and then they go and go back. I get the point. It's a good idea, but you see, there's always one issue or the other. There could be issues with filling form. There's issues with calling names. I understand the disorganization he's probably speaking against, because you go somewhere and they're calling your name. It shouldn't be done, but there are better ways of doing these things. But each side has a pros and cons.
The better and more efficient way to do this, when you call, especially when there's a backlog. And you're calling people to...
I don't know. It depends.
Ola Tomiwa says getting your passport from Sweden embassy is the best.
Okay.
You mostly get it on the same day they take your biometrics.
In Sweden, Nigerian...
In Sweden, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I think we can wrap up on this. I was hoping to actually get a call from somebody who can tell me categorically. But I think we're going to go on a break. I'm told that, we're going to be getting somebody, Mr. Dotun Aridegbe from... the Nigerian Immigration Service is a spokesperson. Hopefully, he will join us in a moment. So tell us exactly what was done to clear the backlog. That would be good information to have. But let me take this call before we go on a break. Oladipupo, thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay, good morning, man.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Because I've captured at Abuja on 26th.
Oh, yeah, please call him back. We got to speak to him. All right, let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll try to bring in someone from NIS just to give us an idea of what exactly they did to get this backlog cleared. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Now we have a spokesperson, Nigerian Immigration Service, with us on the phone, Mr. Dotun Aridegbe. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good to have you. Yes, so we've been speaking about the fact that the Minister of Interior told us all the backlogs have been cleared. We open our phone lines for Nigerians to call in. Some have confirmed, but most of them from the UK are still having issues, saying that the office there is, they are yet to get their passports, and they're really, some have even accused some of malpractices in those offices outside Nigeria. Could you give us a confirmation of how the backlog was cleared, first of all, and the issues we're hearing from the UK especially?
Yeah, thank you very much, my presenter. Now, after the Honorable Minister gave us the marching order, which was positive, and we thank God for him, because the Controller General, reacted to it positively by, first of all, inaugurating a task force that went around all the passport offices to ensure that the marching order was effectively carried out. And I wish to tell you, to inform Nigerians that officers at the passport office, including the Controller General, worked tirelessly. In fact, we ran 3 shifts, including weekends, with the Controller General in person of Caroline Uraola Adepoju, FSI PCC Daga, worked tirelessly to ensure that this deadline was fulfilled. And today, we are all happy that at least we were able to clear all the backlogs. Officers were on their toes. They worked day and night, running shifts, and including weekends. Nobody had rest so as to meet up the deadline. And regarding the one in UK, all efforts are being made by the service. You know, sometimes we normally have issues with either name or data. But as far as I'm concerned, UK too, the Comptroller General is looking into it to make sure that the Nigerians there get their passport seamlessly.
Okay. Okay, sir. We'd just like to know if you could just brief us. For those who have been asked to collect their passports, are you sending them text messages? What is the method in which you're asking them to come and pick it up? And when they get there, what's the process of collecting?
Yes, thank you. Just
Right. Okay, so still try to reconnect it. Hello? Sir? Okay, so it would be nice to know, just like you said, the procedure of picking up, so that those who haven't gotten it can know what to expect and what to do. What I would like to know exactly is what caused the backlog.
Yeah.
It would be really nice to know what was done. You know, this is just, oh, it was done, we made the deadline. That's nice and good, but what exactly caused it? How do we
stop it
mitigate this from happening again?
Yeah.
But me, I heard a woman, he said Caroline. Yes, I was like, no wonder, there's a woman involved.
Hey, high five.
Be sure.
Like, I'm making that deadline. But it's been nice to have him back. I don't know, we're having connection issues. If not, maybe just have him call in. Maybe just have a phone call with him. To be nice to really speak with him. Maybe we should go on a quick break. When we come back, hopefully the connection will be resolved.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our spokesperson with us. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I'd like you to go ahead with Mariam's question, please.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Please.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about the technical disruptions. Like I was saying, while the passports were being produced, simultaneously we were getting in touch with the applicants to collect their passports. And I want to use this opportunity to tell Nigerians that at any point in time they're applying for passports, they should give us their own addresses and numbers, and not to use a third-party addresses and phone numbers, because we discovered that most of them normally go through a third party, and the third party gives their own information as regards them addresses and phone numbers. So please, Nigerians should go for their passports right now. And I can assure you that we have started sending text messages and even phone calls to various applicants for their passports to be collected.
Mariah was asking before, how did it get so bad? And what are you going to do to stop it from getting that bad again?
It never got so bad. You know, we were working. And the minister, the Honorable Minister of Interior, in person of Dr. Olugoni Tunji Ojo, has promised that we are going to sustain it. And I can assure Nigerians that we will sustain the tempo.
Okay, sir. My concern is when a person has a mistake on their passport in the spelling of their names now, is it the same old procedure of traveling to Abuja that must apply, or can it be done within the state of residence?
Yes, you know, like the minister told Nigerians that he's been having a series of meetings with the management of the Nigerian Immigration Service under the tutelage of Caroline Wuraola Adepoju, FSIPCC Daga. And they are going to come out with modalities. That I can't tell now until the modalities are realized before we can get to you on that.
Okay, I guess so. Let me rephrase YK's question. So something must have caused the backlog. What exactly? Was it technical? Was the issue of logistics? Was it issue of the names, data, booklets, availability? There are so many factors. Could you give us an idea of what caused this backlog to be so high? Because many say they had to wait months. Some actually registered, or I think maybe they applied in January or even last year. You know, so what exactly caused it? Could you just give us an idea? Very convenient. Okay, so signal's gone off. So we'll try to bring him back again, hopefully to answer that question before we let him go. But as we've all agreed that the minister has been doing quite a bit, and hopefully this is sustained continuously.
I think one of the things I can blame the backlog for was printing of the passport booklets outside the country, which was handled by the former Minister for Interior at the time. And he mentioned that, they will stop printing outside.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they don't ever go and print our national, property securities outside this country anymore. Very good.
I have a caller, Oladipupo from Lagos Island. Good morning, Oladipupo.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Please, my own case, I just want to tell you my own case. I've captured at Abuja on the 26th of July. That's about 2 months ago.
Okay.
I even called my immigration officer, that the one in charge, yesterday. He told me that my passport is not yet ready.
Okay.
So I now wonder, based on what you are saying, what you people are saying on the phone now, that the backlog is easy now, that everything is in progress. So I don't understand it.
Thank you very much. So I'm happy that you brought your own issue up. So hopefully if we can get the spokesperson back, he can help us address somebody who captured back in July in Abuja. 2 months ago, he's yet to get his passport, and he was called, or he spoke to his immigration officer just yesterday, and that person said it's not ready. So
yes.
We need to understand what happened there.
Maria Uduyebo says, your view, ladies, please commend Sweden for a good job on passport issuance.
Is this Sweden or Nigerian?
It is the Nigerian Embassy.
High Commission.
The High Commission in Sweden.
Okay, all right.
So we did actually commend them, but for your sake, we are doing it again.
Did we take Dr. Max, who says he applied for his in August, and he's yet to get it here in Lagos, Nigeria, and then...
Okay, I'm told that I don't think we have our guest anymore, so we have to disconnect. So let us move on. But thank you very much. I really wanted to know what happened, but hopefully it's sustained. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we discussed the story that happened with the railways. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We took a story about the Nigerian Railway Corporation where they suspended a couple of their staff who had some kind of racketeering going on with tickets, train tickets. So usually when you go to the train station, you're supposed to go to the ticket booth to pick up your own ticket. In this case, I remember the report the person said was that she got in there about 3:40. The train usually leaves by 4 p.m. So by 3:40, you might think you're already running late. So she was walking towards the entrance, and then one of the officials who had an official outfit, told her to just go straight into the train. Of course, the train had already arrived and people were already coming in. And they asked her to go to carriage 7, the 7th carriage. And some more people being asked to go into that carriage. Anyways, as she sat down, she realized that everybody within that carriage didn't have a ticket.
Yeah, so she kept saying, I don't have a ticket. Every official she met, she mentioned that.
Yes, kept telling them, I don't have a ticket. They kept saying that was okay. Eventually, they came to her when the train started moving. They came in and started collecting money from there. They collected 18,000 naira for 3, I think of 3 or 4 people. I think of 4 people, she said. That came, so I know I had paid, I had paid about 6,000, I think. That's for the business class. I'm not sure if this was the business class, but business class is about, so I think it's that green cover, I think, is the business class. So that's 6,000 naira for 3 persons. So they collected the correct amount. But the cash was coming to them, not obviously to the corporation.
That's a woman.
So now, according to her story, by the time they got into the next train station, more people came in, but I think they didn't have seats or something like that. So it got all confusing. But the point is, why are we like this? I mean, that's the question. We always say we the people. So we have this beautiful train route that we're all celebrating. Oh my goodness, I can go to Lagos-Ibadan very easy. I went there, I've been there back and forth, and we're all celebrating this feat. We shouldn't be celebrating really, but hey, we are thankful that we have it. Now, we now have it. We the people are frustrating the efforts of government. And people are worried that this is our blue line that just started from Marina. We hope somebody will not start doing something.
This is Nigeria.
Yeah, this is Nigeria. Don't say it cannot happen.
The state in question.
Amen. That's all I will say to you.
The state in question.
The state, it cannot happen.
Amen.
Because of the cowrie card, right?
No, because of the payment
Cowrie,
system.
yeah.
My husband has been using that train every morning that I come. I have to drop him at the train station, and I'm impressed. I've not even mentioned it as my banter at, you know, how the business is run. So by 6:20, they start to call you. By that time, you're supposed to have already, you know, used your cowrie card. Nobody pays or receives cash.
Yes.
But at the Lagos-Ibadan train station, I went on that train station when the former sector commander for Lagos buried his dad in Ibadan. And I paid cash. In fact, I'm someone who doesn't do cash.
Cash, exactly.
What was annoying on that trip was that if you don't get cash, you have to go outside. There are POS business.
Yes.
They've empowered. You go and withdraw cash. And if you are behind time, you're trying to catch the train because it will leave at 4 on the dot from Ibadan back to Lagos. you would have to, you know.
Yeah.
You will be rushing.
Rushing.
I think
you can even fall victim to fraud.
Yeah.
Then the person you're paying to is collecting so much cash, then we all leave. How are we sure? Because I traveled
Of course,
on
the
the
money
weekend.
is not going.
I traveled on a Saturday.
The government.
How are you sure? No, Friday morning. How are you sure that, you know, the person will make it to the bank when banks have already closed at 4? So some of these details, it was so untidy from the beginning to the end. Whereas the blue line that you're talking about, they did not launch that blue line until somebody was on this show here, talked about how the carry card was going to operate.
Yeah.
So they knitted up their business. You cannot even compare.
So it goes again, that government has no business doing business. Really, they have...
The Nigerian Railway Service had this issue even in the past. How do you put the human factor, you allow the human factor to come in? It's the same this set of people who removed diesel from train. And said that the train was going and it ran out of diesel. And they stopped it until they came in a car to back up the train on diesel. Human factor.
Yeah.
Once you take human factor,
Let me take
I can't confirm, but I've heard that there have been complaints that the train also stops to pick up passengers.
Not at the train
Not
station.
at train station.
Thank you.
Would stop.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So the people that once they hand over to Nigerians, they will convince them.
Okay. Let me take this call, YK. He's been holding for a minute. Hassan, I believe. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Hassan calling from Abuja.
Abuja, go ahead, please.
Exactly what happened in this train issue. That's what I wanted to complain on the passport, international passport.
Yeah.
Human factor. I believe the minister has tried a lot, and he has done the best in clearing the backlog. But way forward, one element will remove completely from passport in the issue of passport in Nigeria. Human factor should be removed completely. Everything should be done online. Biometric, everything should be done online. Apart, because I believe most of the staff there, they cause the backlog just because of their own personal interest.
All right,
Now
thank you.
the same thing happening again in the train station. Beautiful programs, beautiful projects from the government. But our efforts always to sabotage government efforts. I don't know why in Nigeria. I don't know why.
Thank you very much, Hassan. Go ahead, Mariam. So is that part of sabotage that we're talking about?
Yeah. Okay, so what I was going to ask is, you know, because these things will happen, what are we going to do and how are we going to stop it? Because we can stay here and rant, but if we don't do something to put a stop to it, it's going to, what starts small becomes...
Yeah. So let me give you two ways. Number one, CCTV camera is important, maybe not in every single car, but at least in the train stations, number one. Number two, as Nigerians, we also need to stop this idea of the fast way or the better way. Because really, if your consciousness is that I'm in a train station, I would rather go to the ticketing booth. Because no matter who calls you, go to the booth. That is where has been assigned for you to buy a ticket. But because we always think that there's always somebody that can help you out to make it faster, quicker.
Remember what you said? She was running and the man said, no, go to the train, go to the train.
So you are approached by people in uniform. Yeah. So you trust their direction.
Exactly.
But she did something.
Yeah, so she did something where she took a video. Yeah. So she mentioned every step of the way, I do not have a ticket. And then she took a video. So we need to be our police as well. You know, it's good that she was able to take that video to sort of, you know, vindicate herself. Then Finally, if we have videos, if we have evidence, please do the proper thing and prosecute those who have, who are caught in this corrupt behavior. Because what we tend to do is to feel sorry for them. But this person is such a nice person. Oh, he did not mean it. Please forgive the person. And you never send the right message to the next person. And before you know it, you have a system that completely falls apart.
One thing I heard the minister say was what he has done now is he has secret shoppers. So going through the airport, going to the passport office, so you don't know who is coming.
Good. Yes, better.
So NRC, do something. Do something like that. Have secret shoppers. Let me, if you pay me,
let me take Hassan. He's been holding for a minute. Another Hassan. Good morning, Hassan.
Somebody will ask me.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
It's a very good thing that happened to NRC on Lagos-Ibadan Island. But what we are discussing today has been happening on Kaduna-Abuja route for many months, even before the incident that happened on that way. Look, from Kaduna to Abuja, if you don't know anybody, you understand, or you don't have money to pay to the highest bidder, you understand, you will not have access to the train from Kaduna to Abuja. The same thing is happening from Abuja to Kaduna. So when you are talking about this corruption, and when you succeeded in getting on board, you will now realize that a lot of seats were empty inside the train, while many people were stranded in Kaduna station and also in Abuja station. You understand? That is what is happening. It's a corruption. And we have to fight it. If we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria. Good morning.
That's where technology plays a part. That's how the cowrie card works. So, I mean, as much as it might be difficult in some communities, but we can actually get everybody to have a cowrie card, put money in it. You don't have to collect money because these people are also taking advantage of the fact that you have to pay. And just like you said earlier, they don't allow you to pay by using your card. At train stations, I was shocked. Somebody told me and I thought, no, it doesn't happen. Once I went there, they said they demanded you have to pay cash. Why must you pay cash?
I was shocked because
even the officers can siphon the government's money.
Yes.
And take it to their house and give them, tell them only out of 100 people that came, only 20 came.
To fail from the get-go, from the beginning, because that train was not that many, up to 3 months old when I took it. I was so excited to go and find a way to join it. The rush at Yaba in the morning, because the way it was built, we had to get off the public bus I took and go and take a bike to make it for the time because it will leave at 8. And then you are rushing. You're trying to get on the train. Someone is telling you, no, you can't swipe a card. There's a queue for everything. Then you have to climb the staircase. You are dealing with humans at every stage of the entire transaction. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be allowed. If you are coming in with your card, there should be a place you can park. Although I didn't check for that before I went.
So there is.
Yes.
We have a good experience. I didn't go on the train. My mom and her grandchildren last year, so a couple of years back, they got on the train. It was seamless. They didn't have any of these issues. They enjoyed the train ride.
No, it's a beautiful ride.
Yes. It was new.
Let me have Mohammed from Egbeda.
It's a beautiful ride, but the interaction.
No, I'm just saying the interactions. They didn't have anybody trying to collect cash from them. And they
Good morning, Mohammed.
So,
you there?
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
You're online.
Okay.
My name is Mohammed from Egbeda.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I want to talk about the passport issue.
It's your view that it counts. Go ahead, please.
The man that you called now, kindly ask him that if he's not collecting money from all his controllers, if you go to passport office, you have been experiencing this since 2015. All the guys, controller, even in Ikoyi, the one in Ikeda, the one in Festac Town, they will collect 5,000 naira. Because they are the one that will issue the passports. They can issue maybe 100 paper in a day, times 5,000 naira. Go and do your investigations very well. All this that is saying on TV is nonsense. How they are doing it. The new one at Egbeda, if you go to that place,
Mr. Mohammed, how soon? You said 2015. But there's a new sheriff in town, so this is 2023. Yes. Are you telling me that what you experienced in 2015 is what is happening today?
It's still happening.
And which passport office?
When was the last time you went to the passport office?
The one at Akowojo. I was there yesterday.
Akowojo, okay.
From this security guys. You will go there by 5 o'clock.
Okay.
They have their own list already. If you get there by 5 o'clock, you say you are in number 1. They will not give you a paper to write your name that you came by number 1. So they will give you another paper to write your name. You that you came around 5 o'clock, someone will come around 10 o'clock, you see the person number is number 5. Why you that you came very early? Your name will be on number 70 something. That is number 1. And before you even snap, if you go online and you give your own online, if you go to that place, online people come to this side, they will not attend to you because you did it online. Okay. They will not get money.
So this was yesterday, right, Mr. Mohammed?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll pass your information.
You have to pay the officer 20,000 before they will attend to you.
Okay. I'm glad you called in so that hopefully our
zone online, they will put you aside.
Okay.
It's only people that they go through them
that you attend to.
They collect 50,000 from you. They will attend to. If the online people come to this side, they will not attend to you.
Gotcha. That's good feedback. So I'm sure they're hearing, and it's good for them to hear from you. And hopefully they can attend to Akowojo passport office. Hopefully they see some corruption going on there. Let's wrap up. I know a few comments here. Somebody here says that solution to the train situation: automate, pay online and get tickets, or use those machines in the train stations like ATM that issues your card to board. Even Kenya, they have this system. So this is all over the place. You can actually have them.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. If I blame government now, you will say I'm always blaming government. Government have to think outside the box. You have to think outside the box. It's not me that's going to think for you. You have to think, okay, I know I'm being cheated. I know my train is always full and the returns are not what. So start to think, okay, automate, cowrie, like what Lagos State is doing, the cowrie thing.
But the people must be part of it, because if people want to sabotage cowrie too, they'll sabotage it. It's not. We are the people to also have to have our responsibilities. I will find out from the place the cowrie is being issued. I can have somebody there who can manipulate things for me. Anything can be manipulated.
There's also a good thing that, Mariah, you're right about human beings will be human beings. And so we'll talk to, human beings. We need to do better. But also government needs to do better, especially in putting what's necessary. And not just against cheating. There's also security issues. Remember the abduction that happened and the thing that happened on the train? Exactly. And when the investigations came out, they said all the security things that they were supposed to put on, they did not do it, and yet lives were put on those trains. And see what happened. So it's not just, you're right, government, I don't even know if it's outside the box, because that should be part of the box.
It should be inside the box.
Yes, where you know that there may be loopholes, people will try to take advantage economically or security-wise.
I was in a train station when the lady complained that somebody was groping her in the train. It was Lagos to Ibadan. And there were uniformed men in the train who immediately tried to accost him, and they held him, and she was there shouting at him. So I don't know how effective, but I know I witnessed it, where she was shouting, he was groping me, he was touching me, and so the policemen who were not in uniform came out, held the man, and they all gathered around him and now to get somebody outside. So I know in the train station, some of them are there. But you just can't confirm how often they're there.
But remember, we're also talking about at the time when the investigations for that security, that abduction happened, they were trying to verify who were the people that got on the train. We found out that some people who got tickets, some people on the train did not even have tickets. They were not in the manifest. Exactly. There were supposed to be cameras that would show you exactly the people that boarded the train. So that's what we're talking about. Yes, they've always said they've had physical security operatives in plainclothes within the train, but we should do more than that.
We must depart from the old way. So that train experience you talked about is the old one, this one that goes to Abeokuta from the Ikeja long road that used to operate. I used to take people from Alakukot in the morning to Yaba. That one had this popular experience of, standing, sitting, all of those experiences where people will complain of all of those things. We must go away from that. We must increase the timing. I remember this Abeokuta train when I took it. In the Lagos-Ibadan train when I took it. The person in charge was introducing the train to us, saying that it was not working at the normal speed yet. That because of these people crossing into the rail lines, people crossing the rail lines and all of that, did not increase the speed to the normal capacity of those trains yet. So imagine that the trains are ones that move fast enough, they go and come on time, and they have proper schedule. Nobody will have to pay for standing and all of those ridiculous experiences.
We have to wrap up. Any comments on social media?
Yes, we have. We have on X. So Honorable Ademola Alalade says, your view, the way to go with the train issue is to automate the process. If you want to travel by train, they should put a system in place so passengers can buy their tickets online. This will stop officers collecting direct cash from passengers. CCTV camera is also crucial. Yeah. Ogumola Emmanuel says, payment control and monitoring is easy when properly tracked, properly planned. Track train movements and route their destination, and make sure you can only gain entrance to the train station, to the train through an access point that is well structured.
Okay, that's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.